Yeah, let's do
Cool.
this.
I think we're live. Hey everyone, it's Hashim. I'm here with Robin today. How's it going?
Hello, everyone.
Who's online?
Everyone down under and around the world, wherever you are.
Let us know if you can hear us all right. I've got Robin on Skype, and if you're not familiar with his channel, I put a link in the description of the video. And yeah, we first met up 2016, was it, Robin? Now, am I remembering right, or was it like
Uh,
after that,
I don't know. I
2018?
think it was 18.
2018, sorry,
Yes.
yeah, 2018. I've
Yes.
lost track of time.
Yes.
But today we're going to talk about street photography. So let's let a few people come online first, make sure it's all working all right, and I think it's good. But maybe we can rewind back to after we first met. We did that video together,
Yes.
and that was where we walked around. We drove around shooting in the Melbourne, country suburbs, and we
Yeah.
witnessed this cool like fire incident. Actually, I'll bring it up on the screen because I had it up
Yeah. Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah. That was great. That was really fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
we
see if
had no
this
idea
works.
what to expect. We were just okay. Let's get on the car, just
Swap lenses
drive
if we
out
want.
somewhere, and
Yeah,
it was
and
great.
actually, Robin, you have the live stream up somewhere, do you? Because you can see what I'm sharing. I'm just sharing our
Yes.
the old video we
Yeah, I can
made
see
when
it.
we're in the abandoned house shooting
Oh
film.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, remember this?
Yeah,
Um,
of course I do.
so yeah, that was 2018. Oh, look at that! That's what I used large format. Shit, man, it's been a while. But that was a great day. That was really fun. And then we saw this like crazy burn off happening
Yes.
during sunset, which was
Yeah, that was epic.
good photo opportunity. But you're there. We
I
kept in touch
remember.
since then.
So yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
So back then I remember. So when we saw the fire from far away, we oh shit, we have to hurry up. We need to get there on time.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
like
Instead of
it
running away
was,
from a fire. But no,
and
these guys were nice
the
about it. They let us.
fireworks. Yes, the fireworks were really nice.
Yeah. Um,
Or
yeah.
firefighters or whatever. What are they doing? So they're burning this on purpose, right?
Yeah, they do intentional burn off to prevent
Okay, yeah.
wildfires, that spread really badly. So they create like, these breaks in the,
Okay.
flammable land and whatnot. But let's see who we've got online. We've got a few people in the live chat. And actually, Dave, if you're here again, I know you left a message before we started the live stream, but yeah, sorry. I normally do my live streams in the morning or around midday, but this one was at night to facilitate Robin being able to meet up and do this chat. So I'll try and do them in the morning every now and then as well, though. But yeah, thanks for joining, everyone. Got Christopher, learning to fly. Hello. You all both sound good other than Robin's Skype audio quality. Yeah, so Robin's having a bit of an issue with the internet connection, but we're
Yes.
going to try and
Yeah.
work with it. And
Yeah, since yesterday, unfortunately, and they haven't fixed the problem yet. But it's kind of working. But yeah, it's not great. That's true.
yeah, so it's good right now, but you might notice that it will come and go. So like, feel free to
Yeah.
just let us know that it's mostly fine if it is, because on my end I can see it working all right. But
Okay.
hey, Luke, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're going to chat about street photography. So who's into street photography here? Anyone? Yeah, I am. So yeah, Robin and I had a mutual interest in street photography. So outside of that video, we did do a lot of shooting around the streets of Melbourne. It was great fun. I kept watching his videos since then, even had been watching them before then. And then we actually started to talk about the possibility of Robin coming back to Australia in early 2020. When was this? Roughly like March or something, right when the pandemic hit.
Yeah, I think we were talking about around that time frame, maybe February, January, doing a workshop later that year. But yeah, of course, yeah,
Yep.
everybody
So
knows what
shit hit the
happened back
fan.
then.
We
Yeah.
had yeah, good plans, and we had like an idea to let's collaborate again. Let's run a workshop. Let's do more videos. The kind of stuff Robin really enjoys doing, traveling and shooting street, and I do too. But yeah, obviously that had to go by the wayside, and now we have good news. Robin, you can feel free to tell them.
So yeah, a few weeks earlier, we were chatting about maybe if we can make some workshops happening in Australia, and I think now we're finally ready to publish the dates because it's going to happen. So we will have together, we will have two workshops in Australia. There will be one in Sydney and one in Melbourne and it's live on my website now, so you can check it out. Yeah, and I'm totally pumped. Still, it feels surreal that it's finally happening, but yeah, here we go. It's great. I can't wait.
So we have two workshops, Sydney and Melbourne. So you don't
Yeah,
have to miss out. I know there's a lot of other cities in Australia, but we can't do all of them. But Robin's actually going to come for two workshops, and I'm kind of helping co-host it. Robin has a wealth of experience running workshops overseas in Europe, namely, he just did one in London. He's done them in
yeah,
Istanbul, Amsterdam, Germany, so on. So for Australia, we're doing Sydney, and the workshops will consist of 2 days, a Saturday and a Sunday, for both Sydney and Melbourne. Sydney will be the 5th and 6th of November. So you'll have it up on the screen now. I will add these links to the description. I was supposed to do it before we started, but I forgot. But it's okay. I'm going to copy and paste it into the live chat for now. And then I'll add it to the description properly in case you're watching this post stream later. So that's Sydney. There's details there. We'll run through it in a little bit more detail soon. And then Melbourne will be the 19th and 20th of November. So there'll be a bit of a gap between the two. But then Melbourne will run on that weekend. And the URL is the same except Melbourne, but I'll copy that in anyway. So I've just pasted those into the live chat. But if you're watching this post stream, I will have put it in the description by now.
yeah. But or just go to my website and just there's a drop down menu where you can just select it.
That's it. Head to Robin's website and you can see his past workshops and any upcoming workshops in case you are watching this in 2023 or something and you've already missed this one. But yeah. So this is exciting, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I was really happy to get your confirmation that you were coming, you were going to go for it. And tell us a little bit more about the workshops that you've run in the past and how they usually go and what experience you and the attendees have.
The past workshops, for instance, I mean, if you look in the description, it says, okay, there's a schedule, but that's just a rough idea. So usually they never happen this way because you never know what's going on. Sometimes you have to work around bad weather happened, or maybe there's some event coming up on that weekend so that we can go and have a good time. So when I was in London, there was a carnival, the Notting Hill Carnival. So we went there for one day. I mean, it's notorious for being like, you have to be a little bit careful there. But we went there and was great. For shooting was awesome because there were loads of people. And yeah, it was fun. And also I convinced pretty much in every workshop so far, I've convinced people to use a flash. A lot of people are really hesitant to use a flash on the streets because they think people will just kill me if I do that because it's just like the worst thing you can do to a person to use a flash, but it's not really the case. So, and it's really funny just to see people using a flash the first time and realizing there's no difference, especially in the daytime. There's no difference. People won't react in a different way just because you're using a flash. And that's great. And also to see people maybe getting rid of their fear to approach strangers. It's sometimes for some people, yes, it takes a while. It takes a little bit of effort, but it's great when they do it and they realize, hey, it doesn't matter. So for instance, in London, there's the staircase coming up from the underground, and I made one of the students just stand there, and it's very narrow. So there's no way people can avoid you. So they have to basically walk past you very closely. And I made him stand there for 10 minutes looking down through the viewfinder of his camera. So it's very obvious what he was doing. And after 10 minutes, I asked him, so how many people complained? Not a single one. So for him it was like, oh my God, okay, it's a big deal. It's people always think, oh, it's that bad, and people will hit me or just get mad, but not really. And for me, this is really cool to see in the workshops. And because I don't know the students, so the workshop will be structured around what the abilities of the students are. If the students are already advanced and they don't care about what other people think and they can approach, of course, you can do other things. But sometimes you need to work on these basic stuff because I think it's really important. It's not always not always ideal to get close to people, but I think it's one tool you have to master because there will be the opportunity for a good photo, and then you need to be able to get close and take the shot. Um, and this is, I think it's crucial. But of course, if there's other things coming up, and I've noticed that when you um, when I do street photography, because I've been doing it since many years. For me, it's second nature, so it's very I'm so used to it. But just observing other people how they approach it, and I can see what the differences are, and I can just tell them, hey, maybe try this and that. And before I did any workshops, I had no idea, but it's really interesting to see people and maybe also if they have a different approach. And also sometimes I can learn stuff. Everybody can learn. So I think this is great. And also I think from a community standpoint, workshops are great because you will meet people that have mutual interests, and maybe you can find some new friends. You can make some new friends that you can maybe go out and shoot with. Also, when I attended workshops, the same thing happened to me. I met some cool people, so we were hanging out, and yeah, so I think this is one major benefit of doing a workshop. Of course, the learning experience, then making maybe finding new friends, and also maybe find some new inspiration because I think a lot of people they are lacking the inspiration. They want to do a project, and often on a workshop, for instance, when I was in Amsterdam doing the workshop, I came up with an idea for a project because I was just there on my way to the workshop. Then because there's all these small ferries.
Yeah.
Uh, you've been there, right?
Amsterdam, no?
Okay. So there's basically behind the main train station, there's ferries bringing you over the river to the other side. They're for free and they're running every 5 minutes or so. But so when I took one of those, I thought, hey, maybe, and the lighting was perfect. It was just in the morning, very early. This could be a cool project, just take one of those ferries, take it like do this for 2 years and go there every day you can, even in the winter and shitty weather, and shoot on the ferry. And there's your project. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes these things just happen and you just have to realize, oh, maybe this is a great opportunity. So I told the students on the workshop, hey, so there's an idea already. If you want to go for it, just go for it. I cannot, but if you live here, hey, for you it's easy. Just go for it. It's great. Could be a really cool thing to do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, agree. That's all really beneficial stuff. And obviously one point is that you're not going to be forced to come out of your comfort zone too much if, like
yeah,
forced to use a flash or anything like that. But if it's something that you feel like you want to try, this is a good opportunity to kind of
yeah,
rethink how you've approached it in the past, why you're afraid of, certain situations on the street and so on. And
yes,
I've just been like bringing up some of your photos, both on Instagram and now on the website, just to kind of give people who aren't familiar with any of your work, just a bit of a background on your portfolio and some of the shots. And it just like, I can feel the adrenaline in some of these shots. Like I've got, can you see it, Robin? The guy in, I think it was
yeah,
Thailand.
yeah,
I remember watching
yeah,
the video where you made this shot and you were using that flash with the Q2 with the gel on it with the
yeah,
tungsten
yeah.
film, or was this on the Leica Q2? Can't
No, that
remember now.
was on the original queue.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. But your
Yeah,
presets actually have a pretty filmic look. But yeah, that was a great shot, and some of these night situations. So that's a really good way to get outside of your comfort zone. Do things like shooting at night, using a
yes,
flash, getting closer, using a wider focal length, and then yeah, I definitely agree with the aspect of using it as an opportunity to network and meet people, like-minded street
yes,
photographers, someone you can regularly meet with, maybe in your city. And then, of course, if you're not local to Perth, someone mentioned Perth earlier, Melbourne or Sydney, you're welcome to make a trip out of it, fly across and join the workshops too. But all those details are on the pages we linked. Go onto Robin's website. We're going to have 10 people. Is that right? We're looking to have
yes.
10 people
Each,
maximum per workshop
yeah,
because we want to try and spread our focus uh, evenly and not try and spread ourselves too thin and allow everyone to have a equal amount of question time and
yes,
whatever. And Robin would normally have 5 people per workshop when it's himself, but because I'm helping facilitate it and co-host it, we're going to have up to 10 people per workshop, and it is 2 days, so it is fairly intensive.
yes,
Some workshops only run for one day and they cost this more than this, or only like around the same, but they're only offering you 1 day. So I think it's a pretty good return on investment. And obviously, it's not super cheap either, but that's because Robin is flying all the way across from Europe for this workshop, which is a large part of the. If there's, I don't know, Robin, if there's much difference between this and the Europe ones, but I would imagine that is the main reason why.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Um,
travel costs are a little bit more intense
yes,
going
and
to
they're getting
Australia.
higher, but I think it's still a great opportunity. It's still good value if you're someone who wants to get the most out of it, who it really is into their street photography. And we are doing you are, Robin, doing the early bird discount until the 30th of September. So that's a good opportunity if you're pretty sure you want to go for it. So yeah, there's a link at the bottom. Click it, get in touch with Robin, book your place, and go from there. Anyway, I think we missed a
And
fair bit
also
of
on
live
top,
chats. Yeah, go for it, Robin.
yeah, on top of that, maybe we can tell them about the partners we might have. So
Yeah,
we were
yeah, yeah,
talking to
for sure.
maybe just because you did this on your end. So
Yeah, so we can only tease it at this point, but like besides
yeah,
the details that are on the website, so us as instructors, guided photo walks, the potential meetup on the night before the weekend, so the Friday night, which I don't know if I'll be there for both of them or the Sydney one at least, probably for the Melbourne one. We're going to try and include as much as possible in this weekend, and we've tried to reach out to other brands, including Leica. So Robin, if you don't know, is a big Leica photographer, himself. He's a user of the brand, amongst other brands, but he's a Leica ambassador in Germany as well. So I've been in talks with Leica here in Australia about some kind of collaboration with them and or their store, maybe just as a meeting point. They've got some exciting things coming up, so we can't really confirm any of those details yet. We're not allowed to really lock anything in terms of announcements, but we're hoping to have at least some partnerships or collaborations with brands here
yeah,
in Australia, at least one or both cities, if not something unique to Melbourne, something unique to Sydney. Not only like a collaboration, but maybe some film labs, because depending on if we get a
yes,
fair few film shooters, that could be fun to maybe partner up with one of the local film labs in Sydney and Melbourne and help provide some kind of express developing or a discount for the students of the workshop or somewhere to drop in and check out what they do. Whatever you guys might be interested in, feel free to let us know. We want to try and make it as fun as possible and help you get as much as possible out of it over the course of these 2 days. So yeah,
yeah.
that's
I
going to
mean,
be good.
in the past, most people were shooting. Basically, pretty much everybody was shooting digital.
Yeah.
But I think it would be fun also to shoot maybe film, but the problem always is to have the film or the photos ready by the next day because we are going to review the photos, and I want to see all of them because you only learn from the bad photos, not so much from the great ones. But usually it's a problem, especially on the weekend. The turnaround time is usually a couple days, maybe somewhere a couple weeks, and so we are working on making this happening. And if it works out, that would be great. Other than that, I mean, of course, you can still shoot film, and just in case you want to do it, you can still do it. And if we don't see any photos, of course, that's that. But you can do both,
You can do both. Yeah,
film and
of
digital.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Digital makes
I
it
would
easier to
suggest,
get that feedback and learn quicker, but
yes, I would
yeah.
suggest digital because it makes the process a little bit easier. But of course, you can also shoot film. I mean, if you want to, totally fine.
Yeah. Cool. Let's catch up on a bit of live chat. We had a
Yeah,
few comments earlier. We're just kind of people chiming in on their love for street and their interest in street photography. Ben said, "Thanks for streaming now." Yeah, no worries, man. He said, "Greetings from Belgium." So good to have you from Belgium. Learning to fly. The streets of Melbourne are fantastic. I reside in Perth. So yeah, it was you that mentioned Perth earlier. Photos are amazing, Robin. Nice. Someone did mention about the video getting stuck. I noticed that every now and then
yeah,
it's been hanging, but it's been mostly good. And again, this is just a bit of an issue Robin's having with his internet connection, but I think it's running all right. Given how live streams have a tendency to just mess up and explode
yeah.
altogether, this is going well. Yeah, so thanks anyone who is here live. I keep forgetting we're actually live with a bunch of people every now and then, and I just feel like we're having a chat to some degree. But let's see how many people we have online. 17, cool, that's good. All right, so In London, Getons. Yeah, I've seen your work. You sent me the zine. That's right. Some great work there. You said London people don't really care as long as you stand on the wrong. You don't stand on the wrong side of the elevator. Yeah, fair enough. Luke saying, so Luke's from Melbourne. I've met Luke here through Discord and through the channel. I discovered that when I shot my 28mm lens for the first time the other day, definitely need to get close to people, and no one said anything to me. Yeah, sometimes the fear is self-imposed, and that's definitely something that I learned myself as well. And it's if you come across fearful and you have that energy, people are going to feel it and they're going to feel more suspicious.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're smiling and you're happy and you're confident in what you're doing, and you know, you can repeat this again and again, but sometimes you have to get out there and do it and practice to really understand it.
And also there's, you know, confirmation bias. People are looking for bad reaction just to say, or to say, hey, I told you, you know, it's going to happen. People react in a negative way, but it's because only you are looking for it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, like obviously Robin spoke about this was a system and no one ever got angry. Sure, every now and then someone will get angry, but then again, you could have someone get angry when you're not even actually taking a photo of them. In fact, that's when I find it mostly happens. So that's just like, it's something that could happen anywhere. You could be shooting a wedding and then you could piss the wrong person off, you know, and that happens. And when you're out on the street, you're in public and you're not doing anything wrong, there's no need to feel like you are. And it's best not to try and like really feed into that. If someone's just coming across with an angry personality or energy, you know, don't try and argue with them. Just be like, yeah, sorry, you know, move on, leave it. Because they're the kind of people that if you try and get defensive with, they'll often just use it as an excuse to argue or something. Yeah. But we're out there to have fun and create art.
Yes. And, you know, and there's also people in the streets that are pretty much looking for trouble. And they will take whatever, you know, it's, oh, you looked at me, you took a photo, or I don't know, or I don't like your outfit, you know, it's not, it doesn't come down to you taking photos. It's, can be something completely different, something random.
It's a personal insecurity or something.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's fair. But people have that. And they might have their reasons. They'll have legitimate reasons for that. And that's like, okay, let's move on and all good.
So I remember I had one time I had somebody complaining, and then I talked to the person a little bit, and turned out this person had a really bad day, you know. So in the end, it wasn't about taking a photo. It was about what happened back, like a couple hours back on that day. So in the end, he realized that, yeah, it's not you. It's like, you know, I'm in a bad mood anyway. So
well, that's cool that they
and it's not personal. It's not personal, you know. You don't take it personally. I think that's very important. If somebody is like pissed off, it's not about you. And also, if you take a photo of somebody and this person might be, I don't know, a little bit annoyed, I'm pretty sure like 5 minutes later they don't think about it anymore. It's like gone.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot, even just from watching how you do your work in your videos. Because one thing you do really well, Robin, on your channel, in case people don't already watch it, is that you're really great at sharing your process on the street. Your series on the channel that you used to put that the most was called How I Shoot. And it was literally that, you on the street showing how you shoot with the GoPro strapped to you or on the camera or whatever. And you go out there and you shoot and you do it the way you normally would. And I've shot with you in person, and I know that is how you actually shoot. And it's great to kind of see that, oh man, like, because, you know, people initially, and even I would feel that cringy tension that like, shit, you're so close, and then, you know, you came up and you took that photo, and then every time pretty much you just notice the person just like, they didn't react badly, or you laugh or you smile and you move on. And it's hard to see when you're only seeing the first person view, but I've seen it in person, and people just kind of like, they look, you know, if as long as you don't act mean, you know, you smile and you move on. And I started to learn that from watching your videos, and that'll be, you know, one of the main things that you can kind of identify out during these workshops, I would hope. But someone, I think it was saying about how they only use 50mm with a right angle mirror. So I think just like a joke that they can they're not confident with those lenses, the wider lenses. Theo Ryder, so this one I have on the screen.
Oh, somebody's saying hi for you.
But your video's freezing up a little bit. Let's just wait a moment, see if it comes back.
Okay.
Many people hide their faces in the smaller towns. People are great, very approachable, and happy to have their photo taken. Yeah, there's definitely differences from city to city, but you know, you have to work with what you've got, and every city has its own unique look and energy and people and everything that you kind of have to find and work with.
So what I can add here is people hiding their faces. The thing is, you need to be fast. If you're fast enough, they have
Yeah.
no time to react, because
Yeah.
it usually takes people maybe a second to realize what's going on.
Yeah.
And if you can take the photo before they realize, you know, they can hide their faces, but you already got your shot. So
That's
I
key.
think this is very, it's very, that's why it's very important that you are able to go out and shoot, and you don't fumble around with your camera, so everything is locked in and you just can focus on taking the shot. And also, if you see a situation and you want to take a shot, take it immediately, because if you wait for a few seconds, you will not take it at all.
Mm.
Because then you will come up with all these excuses why you should not do it, and oh, the lighting is not that great anyway. So, you know, it's all excuses. You have to do it. If you see it, just go for it. If it's not good, then it's not good. You know, you can delete it, no problem. But I mean, it happens to everybody. It happens to me too. And then later you think, oh man, I missed a great opportunity, you know, just
Yeah.
because I was thinking about it for a second or for a few seconds and the moment was gone. And
Absolutely. And
so
it keeps
the comment I
happening.
can just see on the yes. So the comment I just see on the screen is like, also my recent loss for a Q2 monochrome is all Robin's
Yeah,
fault.
that's yeah.
Sorry.
You're
No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
yeah,
It's a
I wouldn't
great
be sorry though.
camera, sorry, but
Yeah, it's funny because
yeah,
just before we went live,
it's my
we were chatting about how I blamed you, and a lot of people were blaming you for buying the Q2
yeah,
flash. What's it called? The Q-Pix flash. Sorry, the little light pix
yeah,
Q2 flash.
yes, Lipix
It's also called a Q2.
Q20.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think it's
Q20.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
right. Yeah, yeah. And I bought that
Q20.
because of you as well.
No, no,
But
it's called Q22.
Q22, yeah. But I don't have any regrets either about that purchase. And yeah,
No, it's great.
half my
It's great. I
purchases are
mean,
probably based on seeing other people use the stuff, and that's normal.
I'm now on my third copy of the Flash. So the first one burned.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, that's
the
right.
reflector, because I used it on full power. I think it
With the
was in Cambodia. I used it in full power, like in a on a very hot day in the middays. And so then I realized, oh, the reflector got burned, and I used a gel in front of it,
you,
and
you
that also
mentioned
was
that in your
burned.
video actually. Yeah,
Yeah, so I sent it back, and they sent me a new copy.
that's good.
And yeah, but that one I lost somewhere, I guess. So I was using it in Russia, but after that it was gone. So I think I lost it there,
Mm.
unfortunately. So now I have my third copy, but no regrets. So it's
Yeah,
great.
it's a good little unit. The video is lagging, but I think the audio should still be good. So as long as we have decent audio, um, Skype
Yeah, so
is
it's really annoying.
yeah,
No, I think it's my internet provider.
yeah.
They have
You
some
did mention
issues
before
here.
that, but we didn't want to. We still wanted to go ahead, so I think we can work with what we've got.
Yes.
Christopher, I normally shoot
It
exclusively
look
film. However, I just got Expro 2 and realized how much more I'm shooting because I don't have to worry about burning film. Yeah, I think a lot of people are making that transition, and in fact, it should be a good thing that you be able to exercise whether you shoot film or not. Is that you should still shoot digital too, because it really helps you
yeah.
put in practice time. It's very hard to do with film, even when film was cheaper. If you want to shoot street, I think implementing digital into your workflow really helps you practice in a much more instant feedback kind of sense and improve faster. It's a big advantage to be able to shoot digital in this
Yeah.
day and age. And then you take those skills back to film, and it goes back and forth.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's a nice comment there too.
So
Robin, are you planning to visit Spain? You went to Spain before, didn't you?
um yeah, yeah, a few times. I was in Spain last year. Um, I was thinking about it going this year, but unfortunately there was no time. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not far from where I live, so in the end, it's easy to go there.
You
And
were in Portugal
Portugal
just
as well,
just
yes.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not recently, but
Yeah, right. Because by
you
the
know,
time we put
the
the
thing
video
is,
up,
yeah, yes, exactly. And also because I'm traveling so much, it's sometimes I'm okay, where was I last year? It's sometimes it gets lost. Um, Greetings from Wales.
mhm.
Hey, David, greetings back.
That's someone's name. Yeah, nice one, Luke. Compliment the people you're shooting to. You told me about that. Oh, yeah, I think I might have. I mentioned that to a lot of people, and I think it really goes a long way because if you did find something genuinely interesting about them, just say that to them. You don't have to be very specific either. You can just say, I really like how you look, or something, or
Yeah.
your
So
outfit's cool,
on the
whatever it might
London,
be.
so on the London workshop, the one student, he took a photo. I mean, there was this guy. He was really nicely dressed, and I said to him, and he was stationary. He was standing there, and I said, "Hey, just go over, take his photo." I mean, without asking, just go there. And he went, and the guy looked at him, and he said, "Hey, you look great." And the guy was, I think he made his day. The guy was super happy because he took his photo. Because I think for people, even if you take a photo without asking, it shows that you're interested in them. And a lot of people, they don't get much attention from other people. And I think a lot of people, they like it because of that. They get attention.
Mm.
And and they think if you take a photo of me, there must be something about me because you took the photo.
Yeah.
And I think it's more positive than negative.
And actually, the photo I have on the screen that you took in Mexico, I love that interaction in the
Yes.
video where you revisited this guy and showed him the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
photo, and he was so thankful, and you gave him a print, and like this whole
Yeah.
conversation came out of it. And sometimes you can have really positive experiences when you actually
Yeah.
take something candid like this. Then you do chat to them, you do have an interaction, and then they get something out of it too in a big way. And he really loved that. I think he said something about his mom. Remind me, Robin, but it was a cool part of that video.
No, yeah, I gave him the print. So then a couple of minutes later, he disappeared. And then he came back 10 minutes later and he said, because he lives very close by to the beach, and he said, "Hey, I showed the print to my mom and she
Mm.
absolutely loved it." I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, cool, man.
that's
That's
really
that's
cool.
great."
Yeah, oh, what a great
Yeah.
shot.
And because I mean, his English is pretty good. So I asked him, "Hey, maybe next time I come here, let's do something together. Maybe I will just interview him because I think what he told me, the story is very interesting. It's very, very unique. I think it's worth capturing it and maybe on video and maybe take also some photos and publishing it. I think, and he was totally into the idea. So I will probably do this maybe hopefully next winter.
Nice. That'd be cool. I'm looking forward to that. And I want
Yeah,
to go to Mexico someday too, man. Maybe you'll be there. That'll be awesome.
yeah, it's great. It's great.
Uh,
Yes.
okay. Also, pretty much shoot tracks all the time. Sometimes color, however, using Acros simulation and tweaking it looks great compared to the Tri-X film. Yeah, the Acros sim on Fuji cameras is actually pretty nice, especially once you play around with it. I apply it sometimes in RAW and then I tweak a bit further, maybe adding contrast or whatever, and it really looks nice. Saves you time as well. Some people use the Fuji with mostly black and white film sims and don't even shoot RAW, which is cool if you want to do that as well. This one's for you, Robin. About the C330.
Ah, yeah. Ah, okay. How do you find it for everyday use? To be honest, I'm not using it much. Um, it's a little bit heavy, but it's fun to use. But also, you will get a lot of attention because it's a huge camera. I mean, compared to maybe a Rolleiflex, it's much bigger, and a lot of people will look at it because it looks cool. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's a great camera, and I think a reason to get it is because it's not that expensive, so the prices are fairly okay-ish, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully by now they're not gone up like crazy. But I think you can get them still for fairly cheap, and also you can get very close because of the ballast. I think that's one benefit, and you can interchangeable lenses, so also not that bad. Um, yeah, I think it's a great camera. It was my first medium format camera, so I will keep that, of course. Um, and
Nice.
hopefully I will use it again. Let's see.
Yeah. Cool. We caught up on the chat. All right. So, do we miss anything in regards to this workshop? I think the details will continue to come as time goes on, and if anyone is interested, keep this on your bookmarks or tabs or whatever. Check back later if we've confirmed any of those details to do with venue or anything else. Robin will add that to the website pages for both workshops. And what else?
I mean, that is only just a nice to have because everything else is pretty much locked in.
Yeah.
So
we've got the
if
necessities.
If we can do something with Leica, it's cool. It's a nice bonus, but that's not a crucial part of the workshop. So
yeah,
if it's for some reason not working out because they're also busy, they have some events, and if that doesn't work out, fine, that's totally fine. We would still find something else instead. That's not a big deal, but I think also the main reason is that it's not that important because most of the time we will spend outside shooting. I think that's important on a workshop because often a workshop is only somebody standing in front of a crowd and just giving a speech. That's
Yep.
basically, or you can ask questions. But to me, this is not a real workshop. Can be a part of a workshop, but I think the shooting part, that's what when you really learn how to take your skills to the next level.
Mm. Because you come back like
So that's
tired
why
as
I
well.
think it's not. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel.
yes, for me, because I'm so
Yeah.
used to it, maybe going out and shooting for 6, 7, 8 hours. But I've noticed this for a lot of people, it's very tiring, but also, it also helps you if you push your limits, physically and also mentally during the workshop. I think that's important, because you can see what you can do, what you can achieve.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're just by yourself, after 2, 3 hours, oh, I'm tired, let's call it a day. But on the workshop, you have no choice. You have to push yourself. You have to keep going, and then you realize, hey, maybe it was a good idea because I've made cool photos afterwards. Otherwise, I would have never taken them. So
Yeah.
that's also one benefit of the workshop.
Definitely. Uh, okay, so I think because your connection has been a bit low for for a little while and it hasn't come back, and plus I think
Maybe I should.
we've gone through everything we
Yeah,
wanted to cover. We can summarize. If you want to try something, see if you can. The audio has still been okay, so apologies to anyone.
yeah,
Um, but I've had it on the minimized screen anyway. But yeah, I know that connection was coming and going, and now it's been mostly
yeah, yeah,
at the low end, but hasn't popped back. And we're using Skype. You know, Zoom now has a limit. We tried to work with other options, but this is what we had, and it's worked enough for the most part. But unfortunately, it's not optimal. But anyway, I think I would just say to anyone to check out Robin's work on the Instagram link that I put in the description of this video. We've got one more question which we can answer shortly as well. If anyone else has anything they want to quickly drop in the live chat, feel free to do that. But yeah, put the link to Robin's Instagram in the description of this video. I'll add the link to the workshops there as well. My Instagram is also there if you want to check out some of my work and what I do in case you're not familiar. But if you're on my channel, I'm assuming maybe you already are. But I'm really looking forward to this. Robin's YouTube channel is linked as well. That's not it here, but yeah, plus his website. All the good stuff is in the description. Any way you can support us, I put a link to Robin's to your zines and Lightroom preset link, so people interested in that in case they notice some of these like nice presets from the Q2 that I've been showing on the screen. And yeah, the question was about the Plaurbel Machina
yeah,
for
okay.
you, Robin. So let's answer this one. We can sum it all up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was fun shooting it, but to be honest, it feels very fragile. I mean, it felt, and also the camera I used was broken, so I only got 8 frames out of it, and the frame counter wasn't working, so it was a little bit unfortunate. Um, but to be honest, I think I prefer the Fuji GF670 that I have, even though the lens is a little bit slower. It's a 3.5, not a 2.8, but I think that's not a big deal. But the camera is um, is not as heavy. I mean, the Plaurbel is not really heavy, but I think the Fuji is like 1 kilo, which is like unheard of for a 6x7, and it's a more modern camera. So I think I prefer that one over the Plaurbel.
Yeah.
Because I got it for a good deal, so also this was a reason I picked it up. Um, Maybe it's different. I haven't tried the one with the 55 mil lens. I would love to try that as well, but
The
it's
white
really
one.
hard to. Yes, it's really hard to find. Even the Fuji, the GF670 with the 55 lens. It's really hard to. I mean, you can see it on eBay popping up once in a while, but it's even more expensive than the 80 mil version. But I would love to shoot that one. Maybe one day I will get the opportunity. But on the other hand, for what I do mostly, street photography, I think 35 millimeters is much better because you get 36 images out of a roll. On 6.7, it's just 10. And if you consider current film prices, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I've been tempted to take my Pentax 6.7 with the 55mm out on the street, but I've still yet to do it. Actually, I think it could
I
be your
mean,
focus, Robin. I remember last time you
yeah,
had issue, you just had to press the focus because now the connection's a bit better. But if you can try focusing, because I know you're using the
that should
Panasonic,
be okay. Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, okay, I think that's a bit better. It sort of comes and goes because I know you had it on manual focus. You have to be in that zone. Yeah, I agree though. 35mm just makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's just quicker as well if you shoot quickly. But if you're happy
And
to shoot slowly, medium format can be really cool.
so talking about 35 millimeter, have you heard the rumor that Leica is maybe releasing a new film camera?
Well, they've had this rumor
In
for a
the,
while, right?
yes.
It's
So maybe now it's happening. I mean, it would be really cool. So I was thinking, why would they do this? Because you have the MA,
mhm.
and the MP is basically it's very similar to an M6. Um, so why would they bring out a new one and maybe discontinue the um, this one here? I mean, this one, the MP, because the MP has a light meter. Yes, yours doesn't come with a light meter. So
Yeah.
maybe, I mean, it's just a guess, but what if they put in a new shutter, a shutter that's maybe capable of faster shutter speeds, or maybe even quieter, or they put in I don't know, auto exposure or something like that. But that also would mean that you will need the battery to operate the camera, like the M7, but maybe a little bit modern, maybe something else.
Mm.
That would be great. Or it's just a new one that is cheaper. But I don't think that this is going to happen because already they couldn't keep up with the demand on the MP and MA, and I think the on a cheaper one the demand would be crazy. So I don't think that this is going to happen. I mean, it could. So fingers crossed. I
Yeah,
mean, I would
yeah.
love to.
It was a while ago that they
But
announced that they put out this rumor. It was meant to be an
yes,
M. I think they specified it would be an M, a cheap alternative to like an M6, for example, or
okay.
something like that. But
I
who
mean, the
knows?
thing is, the MA was a limited edition, so it was never meant to be for sale for I don't know now how long it is, not more than 10 years or something. But because the demand was so high, that's why they put it into production, just not just for 100 copies, on even way more. Um, I don't know, but it would be awesome if they. I mean, It would be sad if they would discontinue one of those. But I don't think that they will discontinue the MA because I think it's unique because it's just so clean, no electronics whatsoever. And I mean, somebody would ask me, hey, which camera would you pick right now? I would go for the MA because
Nice.
of that. Because I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah,
I'm not using the light meter on my M6. There's
yeah.
no,
That was my
I have two
reasoning. Yeah.
M6 cameras. Yeah, I have two. So and yeah, there's no battery here. In the black one's also no battery in there. I don't really use the light meter at all. So for me, I don't really need it. And I
Mm.
think it looks better if the front is very clean. There's no compartment here.
Yeah, yeah. That's because people said that to me, and the argument was that well, you can just get an MP and take the battery out. Sure, that's true, but because I also don't use a light meter, and I
Yeah,
also did prefer the matte black finish because I know I wanted a black one of the MA, and also it was
yeah,
I got a second hand, so they tended to be a bit cheaper than MPs because they're in less
yeah,
demand. And you're
yeah,
right about like cleaner with no battery compartment
yeah.
on that part. So I thought, well, yeah, I'll just get the MA, like over the
Yes,
MP. It was
I would
easy.
probably get the silver one.
Yeah, well, yeah, the silver one's beautiful as well. I like that the silver one still has the engraving on the top, like the
Yeah,
M4 did.
yeah,
That's a really nice feature.
yeah.
It looks really classic. This just looks minimal. Um, but yeah,
Not that it matters, but it's just it also, it also feels good if you because it's a tool, you have it in your hands, you see it all the time. If it makes you smile, if you look at it, I think that's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
already a
That's true.
bonus.
That's true. It's
That's
like sports players come out wearing these nice uniforms and they feel good and they
yeah,
play better and everything. So there's some psychology to
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
So
fingers
yeah,
crossed. So something will happen. I have no insight, so I cannot tell you, but I
yeah.
hope that it's true.
You don't get inside
Um,
Leica information as an ambassador, then.
I mean, I used to get some information, but not anymore. But I don't really care. It's
Yeah.
like, especially if it's a digital camera, because I have like the Q2 monochrome, so I don't really. There's for me, there's no need, and I don't want to buy a digital M.
Yeah,
because I prefer the Q series because I like 28.
you
But I
do
will
really
make a
really
video
like
about
28.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I will make a video about this very soon because a lot of people ask me, what should I get? Should I get the M with the 28 or should I get a Q or Q2?
hmm.
And I think I will share my experience. I think there's some things that you could consider that could make a big difference. But yeah, I will make a video about this soon. So, but
Yeah,
for
looking
me,
forward to it.
M is only analog because they're just great.
Nice.
In London, I saw a lot of cameras, a lot of M6s. I mean, I was really surprised because usually you don't see them a lot. But in London, I saw a lot of Leica shooters. I think there's a lot of people there that have money, so it's
Yeah,
probably a
yeah.
reason for it.
They just keep getting more popular as well, which is what
Yes,
is causing the
yeah, that's
prices
why
to
the
go up.
prices are going like absolutely
Hmm.
nuts. I mean, it's pretty mental if you think about it. Like, I think right now it's pretty much under $3,000 or euros. There's no way you can get an M6 right now, I think. So
Yeah, you might as well buy a MP or MA. I reckon that's my opinion because
yes,
you get a
yes,
new one. You get it's not
yeah,
30 years old. It's got a
yes.
warranty, and if you buy new. Okay. I think we're good, man. Like your connection's good again. So if anyone does have anything, it comes and goes. But yeah, if anyone does have any questions, feel free to drop them here. If you have made it this far from after the stream, if you're not watching this live, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the long chat. I guess you had the ability to skip back and forth if you wanted to. But we tried to put all that important information in the beginning, just announcing the workshop, which is the main reason we wanted to do this chat, and just to kind of share some of our conversation with you. Do you have anything else, Robin, that you wanted to go over in case I've forgotten?
No, not really, but I'm really looking forward to do the workshops, and also we will probably do a couple of videos together.
Yeah, actually,
This
this
will
is a
be
good
also
question.
pretty amazing.
What are you looking forward to about coming back to Australia? Because I know it's not the most exotic place in the sense of like, obviously, you've been to a lot of really like Australia's a great country. Don't get me wrong. And obviously, when you live here, you look at other places and you think
Yeah.
they look really exotic and cool, like South America and whatever. What are you most looking forward? What do you like about Australia and shooting here, or anything that you're looking forward to, uh,
Mhm.
or planning to do outside of the workshop while you're here?
To be fair, I've only been to Sydney and Melbourne, so it's only like a very small part of the country. So,
Yep.
and the road trip we did, that's pretty much all I've seen in
Yeah.
Australia. So
Yeah.
not that much. But since I like doing street photography, that's probably the best places to go in Australia.
Big cities.
But yes, but I liked it. It was good fun.
Yeah.
The light in Sydney was really great, and
Mm-hmm.
Melbourne was very different. Melbourne to me feels more like an American city.
New York kind of vibe.
The way, yes, yeah, the way it's structured.
Mm.
But shooting here was also great fun. I remember I shot a couple of videos, or I don't know, at least one at
Yeah.
night, shooting there at night. That was
Yeah.
great. That was really nice.
That's why you put
Um,
up that photo for the web
yeah,
page
yeah,
with
yeah.
the
Yes, yes,
that's a great one. It's at the top here. And you know what? Because that's from the Melbourne. I recognize the streets, But
yeah,
then I also for a moment thought this was Melbourne, and you put New York here, but it looks very much like a corner of a Melbourne street corner, like Flinders Lane or something. Um,
yeah,
but it's not. It's New York, and that
yeah.
I guess
It's
that
New York,
building in the
yes.
background is what threw me
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
But yeah, Melbourne's a great city to shoot. I love
yeah.
Sydney. I think Sydney's better, but then it's better in a certain way.
It's
Melbourne has
different. I
its
mean, it's
own thing.
different,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
different.
But yeah, it's
And
exciting, man,
also,
and I think it'll be cool to do some stuff
yeah,
like you said outside of the workshops as well.
and also, a friend of us, maybe Daryl, Daryl, he also
Yes.
has a YouTube channel. He's from
Yep.
Auckland. He asked, hey, maybe you can also do a workshop in New Zealand.
Yeah.
If you're from New Zealand and you want us to come there, maybe we can make it happen. Maybe after the workshop we do in the one in Melbourne, maybe we can do another one
Yeah.
in Aussie, in maybe in Auckland. I think
In
Auckland would be the place to go,
Auckland,
I guess.
Wellington. Yeah, yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be amazing. I guess like I don't know how many people from New Zealand watch my videos. I'm sure there's a few, but maybe if you're
yeah,
watching and you have street photographer friends in New Zealand, tell them that Robin mentioned that if he has enough demand, that maybe we can add on a New Zealand workshop, or that even if I can't make it for some reason and you end up doing a smaller one, I'm sure people would love that too. Uh, yeah, And then maybe we can we spoke about doing like a road trip, and you just mentioned you've
Yeah.
only really been to the big cities, and we really enjoyed doing that random road trip that time because we have that gap between when you come to Sydney,
Yes.
and I have
Yeah.
some weddings in between that, but like my weekdays are free, and we can drive out somewhere or do a trip to some sand dunes or something interesting or different.
Find some snakes and spiders.
Yeah, find the Aussie
Because I haven't seen
icons.
any yet. When I was in Australia, I was like, hey,
You
where
don't
are they?
really,
Where are they hiding?
yeah. No, I mean, if you go
I mean,
out into the bushes and you're there for a while, you'll eventually see some. But like, it's not as overblown as the
yeah,
pop culture would make it out.
yeah.
Did you see kangaroos when you were here? Like
Uh,
hopping around the bushes and whatever? Because even that is kind of
no,
depends where you are.
not not really.
But
The
that was
only
like
the only
a
thing I saw
cliche.
that was like for me that screamed Australia was a parrot. Like what are they called? The white ones that have like the look like a
Galah?
punk.
Yeah, either a
I don't
galah,
know.
cockatoo. I mix them up. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Um,
was really big, and I saw it in Sydney. I was like, okay, this is Australia. Yeah,
yeah,
because here
yeah.
you can see it in the zoo, but there it was just flying
Right.
around the park.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
That was great. Yeah.
that's true. I keep forgetting that some of these like birds and fauna, they're unique to us.
Yes.
Because I haven't been to as too many different countries, but even I notice that when I leave. Jackie in the comments, big fan of both of you. Robin is one of the goats of street photography. There you go. Yeah, for sure, man. I
Thanks.
definitely. Um, in terms of like people shooting currently, I think you're right up there. And yeah, I can't wait for that new zine, man. That'll be cool. The upcoming book that told me
Yeah.
a little bit about. I don't know how much
Yes.
you've shared,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I'm allowed to share
Yeah.
anything, but yeah,
No, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't announced it yet, but I mean,
yeah,
somewhat I teased it,
you've
but
teased it. You've
it's
teased it.
not. Yeah, it's a little bit. It always takes longer than you expect, but you probably know that.
Yep.
But there's always also all these problems coming up. Now it's the paper. It's really hard to get hold of the paper that I want. Because I'm not trying to use I want to get like a glossy paper because it's black and white, but the ones they sent me it's just too glossy and
Mm,
yeah, it's not easy,
back and forth.
but yes, back and forth. I will find something and because I want to make it happen before going to Australia, so
Yeah.
there's a few weeks left, so I will this will come out hopefully before that.
Yeah.
But I can't wait because I have this in the pipeline for so long. But finally it's time to do it and yeah. So friends that know the images, they said, oh, they also cannot wait because they think it will be really great.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure. Okay. I think um I think we've covered it all. I think this went
Yeah.
well. I think we can leave it there unless there's anything else. Uh,
I mean, you can still hit us up later if you have any
yeah.
questions whatsoever. No problem.
Do you think you'll make a video on your channel, like a more formal video once like things start to get solid
I mean,
in terms of
yes, I
details?
will. You mean the workshops? About the
Yeah,
workshops?
for the workshops and your
Yeah.
trip here. Yeah,
I will
because
probably integrate it in another video. So I will not do a dedicated video, but I will definitely put it in a video and maybe a couple of videos. Because the thing is, I've had it before that people, I've announced something in a video and then people said, "Oh, I haven't seen the video," so and it was too late. They missed
yeah,
out
yeah,
on it.
yeah,
So I'll probably mention it in a couple of videos so that people have the chance actually to realize that we are coming to or I'm coming to Australia and we are running these workshops together.
Hmm.
And yeah,
And I guess because there's pretty limited spots, it's really not that many to have 10 each. That like it kind of will just take care of itself without too much of a
yeah,
push. But yeah, before we say goodbye, I'm just going to read the last comment here. Do another
yes,
photo walk again. Both of you is the reason why I got into film photography. I remember getting my first Nikon FE
nice,
because of Hafton's review. Nice. Yeah, I've had so many people actually message me saying they got a Nikon
yeah,
FE because of my video that I put out ages ago. It
okay,
was like 2016. And it makes me feel so good just to hear that someone bought like whatever camera. And I love that it's a simple, reliable, not overpriced camera that I still love and I still use, and it still works. It's amazing, and it's great that people say they bought something like that. And I'm sure you know
hold
the
on,
feeling,
give me
Robin.
a second.
So yeah, I'm glad, uh, Eduardo Ramos, that you got the
This one
FE.
here.
You got it, yeah. So FE, you have one too. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
So I appreciate you letting me know that, and that Robin also like contributed to your getting into film. That's really cool. And thanks, Luke. Um, I'll catch you soon. If anyone in Melbourne like Luke is keen for the next coffee and cameras, I'm going to announce that soon. So go on the Discord server. Actually, if anyone isn't on the Discord server, you can check that out. It's where we chat about little meetups locally in Melbourne. So if you want to come to meetups before Robin actually comes, and maybe while he's here, we can do a little coffee and cameras. We'll see. Yeah, we'll talk about that soon. So yeah, all those links are in the description. Thanks for having this chat, Robin. It was really good, and
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, and
Oh.
we can just keep putting out information as we find out more details.
Yep.
Cool. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll chat to you all soon.
See you guys.